Welcome back, everybody, to another Mindset Minute Deep Dive.
Oh, I love these.
I know, right?
We get to go deep.
And today we are taking on intrinsic coach Warren's advice on, staying calm when making tough decisions.
Yeah.
We've all been there, right? Like meetings, deadlines, difficult conversations, and it's like suddenly clear thinking just vanishes.
It's so true.
So I'm Alan, and with me is Rebecca, our expert guide to unpack all this.
Hey, everybody. You know, it feels so personal, right? When we can't think straight under pressure. But the good news is it's not a character flaw. It's actually our brains doing what they're wired to do in, stressful situations.
Yeah.
And Warren gives us a great step, decision calm reset, to work with our brain, not against it.
Okay, I love that. So let's unpack this decision calm reset. So first, what exactly happens in our brain when we're under pressure?
Well, imagine this. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala.
Okay.
It's like this little guard dog, always on the lookout for danger.
Right.
And the moment it senses stress, bam, it triggers the, fight or flight response.
Uh-huh.
Now, this was, super useful back in the day when danger meant like a saber-toothed tiger.
Right.
Not so much when it's a tight deadline or a tough conversation.
So that explains that deer in the headlights feeling.
Exactly.
When you suddenly forget what day it is during a big presentation.
Precisely. And the more that stress builds, the more our amygdala takes over and hijacks our rational thinking.
Wow.
Two researchers, McEwen and Sapolsky, back in 1995, showed just how powerful this response is. It literally floods your system with hormones, making it almost impossible to think clearly.
Oh, man. That's a powerful image. It reminds me of Warren's analogy about the shaken up soda can.
Oh, yeah.
Shake it up too much and things get messy.
It's a perfect analogy because the key is to release that pressure before we explode.
Right.
And that's where Warren's decision calm reset comes in.
So we can't just will ourselves to stay calm.
Not exactly. We need to understand how to use our own biology to our advantage.
Okay.
And that brings us to the vagus nerve, which Warren calls our secret weapon against stress.
Ooh.
It's this incredible nerve that connects our brain and our body.
Okay.
And we can actually influence its activity to calm ourselves down.
Hold on, we can control this nerve?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Think of the vagus nerve as a two-way communication highway.
Okay.
When we're stressed, it sends signals to the brain that keep us in that fight or flight mode.
Right.
But we can actually send signals back down the vagus nerve to calm things down.
Wow.
And the research on this is fascinating.
Yeah.
Dr. Stephen Porges, a leading expert in this field, has shown how activating the vagus nerve can have all sorts of benefits.
Okay. So what kind of benefits are we talking about?
Well, it's not just about feeling more relaxed.
Right.
When we activate the vagus nerve, our heart rate slows down, muscles relax, and here's the kicker. Our minds become clearer and sharper.
Oh, that's good.
Research from Bright and his team in 2018 showed that even small changes in vagal activity can have a significant impact on our cognitive function.
Wow. This is really interesting. So how do we actually activate this secret weapon? Is it like some complicated meditation technique?
Actually, Warren's decision calm reset incorporates simple yet effective methods for vagal nerve stimulation.
Okay.
It's all about making small, subtle shifts that interrupt the stress spiral before it really takes hold.
Right.
And there are 3 steps to it.
Okay, let's dive into those 3 steps. What's the first one?
The first step is what Warren calls the 4-second eye shift.
Okay.
You know how when you're stressed, your vision narrows, almost like you have tunnel vision?
Uh-huh.
It's your brain focusing on the perceived threat.
Oh, absolutely. Like the world shrinks down to the size of the problem right in front of you.
Exactly, and that's where the eye shift comes in.
Okay.
By consciously widening your gaze and taking in your surroundings, you're sending a signal to your brain that there's no immediate danger.
Right.
It's like hitting the reset button on that tunnel vision.
So instead of staring intensely at my screen when things get stressful, I should just look up and around for a few seconds. It sounds almost too simple to be effective.
It might seem simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Research by Ladisseur's team in 2019 showed that simply broadening our visual field can help interrupt the brain's panic response and promote a sense of calm.
Wow, that's pretty remarkable. Okay, so we've got step 1, widen our gaze. What's next in the decision calm reset?
So the second step is all about harnessing the power of your breath.
Ooh.
With what Warren calls the long exhale.
Okay.
You've probably heard that, deep breathing can help with stress.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a fascinating reason for that.
I'm all ears. I've definitely tried those breathing exercises, but I've never really understood, why they work.
Well, it all comes back to the vagus nerve.
Okay.
When you exhale for a longer period than you inhale,
Right.
you're directly stimulating the vagus nerve,
Okay.
which then sends signals to your body to chill out.
Uh-huh.
It's like applying a gentle brake to your stress response system.
So it's not just about taking deep breaths. It's about the ratio of inhaling to exhaling.
Exactly. And the science behind this is quite compelling.
Right.
Remember Dr. Stephen Porges? We talked
Yeah.
about him earlier. Well, back in 2011, he laid out how longer exhales directly activate the vagus nerve,
Okay.
leading to all those calming benefits.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all ties together.
Yeah.
So first we widen our gaze to signal to our brain that we're safe. And then we use our breath to actively calm our nervous system.
Yes.
What's the third step in the decision calm reset?
So the third step is where we shift from feeling overwhelmed to taking action.
Okay.
Warren calls it the what's next reframe.
Okay.
You know how when you're stressed, you can get stuck in those what-if loops?
Yeah.
Imagining all the worst-case scenarios?
Don't tell me about it. It's like my brain goes into overdrive, just creating all these disastrous scenarios that probably won't even happen.
That's your amygdala trying to protect you by anticipating every possible threat.
Right.
But it can be incredibly draining and counterproductive.
Yeah.
The what's next reframe helps you break free from that cycle
Okay.
by shifting your focus from worry to action.
So instead of dwelling on all the things that could go wrong, I should focus on what I can actually do about the situation.
Precisely. Instead of getting lost in the what-ifs, ask yourself, what's the very next step I can take right now?
Okay.
This simple shift in focus does wonders.
Yeah.
It pulls your brain out of that anxious spiral and puts you back in the driver's seat.
That makes a lot of sense. By focusing on that next action, I feel like I'm regaining a sense of control, even if the situation itself is still stressful.
You got it. And there's actually research to back this up.
Oh, really?
In 2016, Grafton and his colleagues demonstrated how shifting our focus to action reduces anxiety.
Wow.
When we take action, we're essentially telling our brain, hey, we're not just sitting here panicking, we're taking steps to address the situation.
Like we're giving our amygdala reassurance that everything is under control.
Exactly. And even a small action can have a big impact.
Okay.
It could be as simple as making a list, sending an email,
Right.
or even just taking a few minutes to clear your head and come up with a plan.
Okay, so to recap Warren's decision calm reset,
Yeah,
we have the 4-second eye shift, the long exhale, and the what's next reframe.
exactly.
These are 3 very specific techniques, all grounded in how our brain and body respond to stress.
And they're all designed to interrupt that stress spiral before it takes over.
Right?
The more you practice these techniques, the more natural they become,
Yeah.
and the better equipped you'll be to handle those high-pressure moments.
It's like we're training our brains to stay calm and focused even when things get tough.
Precisely. And the great thing is that calm isn't some innate trait.
Right.
It's a skill you can develop. You're
Yeah.
not stuck with a stress cone personality.
I like that.
You have the power to change how you respond.
This has been incredibly insightful, Rebecca. So we've covered the 3 steps of the decision calm reset. Are there any other key takeaways from Warren's work that you think our listeners should know about?
There's one more really important point that Warren emphasizes.
Okay.
Calm isn't just about feeling relaxed.
Right.
It's also about staying sharp and focused when it matters most.
That's an interesting distinction. So it's not about suppressing our emotions or pretending that we're not stressed. It's about managing those emotions so they don't hinder our decision-making.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where we're alert and engaged but not overwhelmed or frantic.
Right.
Warren argues that this state of calm focus is what allows us to tap into our full potential.
I could see how that would be so valuable, especially in situations where we need to be at our best, like during a big presentation or a challenging negotiation.
Absolutely. When we're calm and focused, we can think more clearly, assess risks more accurately, and come up with more creative solutions.
It's like having access to a whole new level of mental clarity and performance.
Exactly. And that's what Warren's work is all about,
Yeah.
helping people unlock that potential by mastering the art of calm.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive into Warren's decision calm reset. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us, Rebecca. I think our listeners are going to find this incredibly valuable.
It's been my pleasure, Alan. It's always great to discuss these powerful techniques for managing stress and achieving greater success.
And for our listeners who are looking for more science-backed strategies to overcome burnout and achieve lasting success, be sure to subscribe to Mindset Rebuild at mindsetrebuild.substack.com. Warren shares a wealth of insights and resources that can help you level up your mental game.
It's a fantastic resource. Highly recommend it.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. Warren says that calm is a skill that can be trained, and the Decision Calm Reset gives us the tools to do just that.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not at the mercy of our emotions.
Right.
We have the ability to choose how we respond to stress, and with practice, we can all become masters of calm.
That's a great message to end on. Thanks again for joining us, Rebecca. And to our listeners, we hope you found this deep dive into the Decision Calm Reset helpful. Remember, calm is a superpower, and it's within your reach.
Until next time, stay calm, stay curious, and keep exploring the fascinating world of mindset and human potential.